For decades, Made in Germany has meant quality, reliability, and excellent engineering. This good name comes from many generations of skilled workers and smart companies, making Germany a world leader in cars, machines, chemicals, and electronics. Making things is the main part of Germany's economy. 1 out of every 5 workers has a job in this area, and how well it's doing affects millions of lives. German industry helps with exports, pays for social programs, and supports a strong middle class. But today, this way of doing things is facing its toughest challenge in a long time. Losing cheap energy, more global competition, and unsure markets are shaking up the very base of German industry. There's a growing worry about losing industries, about losing the industrial heart that has made Germany rich. The question now, can Germany change and keep its strong industrial position? German factories are facing a perfect storm. 3 major challenges hitting all at once: soaring energy costs, fierce competition from abroad, and shrinking demand for their products. These issues are putting enormous pressure on one of the world's most respected manufacturing sectors, and the effects are being felt across the country. The loss of cheap Russian gas has sent energy prices skyrocketing, especially for industries that rely heavily on power, like chemicals, steel, and automotive manufacturing. For decades, affordable energy was a key advantage for German industry. But now, companies are struggling to keep their costs under control. Some factories have even had to cut back production or temporarily shut down, unable to compete with lower energy prices elsewhere. Meanwhile, countries like China have rapidly improved their manufacturing capabilities. They're producing high-quality goods at lower prices, and they're not just competing in their own markets. They're challenging German companies globally. This means German manufacturers are facing tough rivals not only at home, but in every major export market. As a result, German manufacturers now have to fight for every sale, often forced to compete on price as much as on quality and innovation. The pressure to cut costs is intense, and it's changing the way many companies operate. On top of that, key export markets, especially China and Europe, are experiencing economic slowdowns. This means fewer orders for German products, and many factories are seeing their order books shrink. For an economy that depends so much on exports, this is a serious concern. All these problems are deeply connected. High energy costs make it harder to compete internationally, and weak demand means less revenue to invest in new technologies or expand production. The risk is that German industry could fall behind in innovation, making it even harder to recover. Factories are feeling pressure from all sides, creating a sense of uncertainty and anxiety among workers and managers alike. Many are worried about job security and the long-term future of their companies. The result? A noticeable slowdown in manufacturing activity, with some plants running below capacity or even sitting idle. This slowdown is raising big questions about the future of German industry and its role in the global economy. The pressure is on to find creative solutions and adapt quickly before the damage becomes permanent. Companies are rethinking their strategies, investing in new technologies, and searching for ways to stay competitive. The big question now is, can Germany's industrial sector weather this storm and come out stronger on the other side? The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The answer will shape not just the future of German industry, but the entire country's economic destiny for years to come. The crisis is hitting home. Over 100,000 manufacturing jobs have disappeared in just 1 year. Big companies like Volkswagen are cutting thousands of jobs, and this pain spreads to their suppliers and local communities. Money for new projects is drying up. Only 13% of manufacturers plan to grow in Germany, while almost half are looking to other countries. Companies are looking for cheaper energy and easier business environments elsewhere. This movement of money away from Germany threatens its industrial future. Without new factories and technology, things will surely get worse. The need to act is real. Turning this trend around is now a top priority for business and political leaders. The choices made today will decide if Germany stays an industrial powerhouse or slowly disappears. The stakes could not be higher. SKW Piesteritz, a fertilizer factory in Wittenberg, stands as one of Germany's most important industrial sites. For generations, it has been a cornerstone of the local economy and a vital part of the country's agricultural supply chain. The factory, which has been operating for 100 years, is now at the center of Germany's industrial crisis, showing the real human cost when an industry struggles. Families in the region have depended on these jobs for decades, and the plant's presence has shaped the community's identity. Nearly 900 jobs are at risk because the factory is struggling with extremely high natural gas prices. Natural gas is the main ingredient and cost for making fertilizer, and when prices soar, it puts the entire operation in jeopardy. Workers worry about their future, and the uncertainty spreads to their families and the wider town. A government tax on gas, designed to ensure there's enough supply for everyone, has actually pushed costs even higher for factories like SKW Piesteritz. This extra burden makes it almost impossible for them to compete with foreign producers, and every month the pressure grows. It's a bitter irony. Russian competitors, who have access to cheaper energy, can now sell fertilizer at lower prices than German producers. This puts German-made products at a disadvantage, even in their own market. If SKW Piesteritz closes, the impact will be felt far beyond the factory gates. It's not just a sad event for the local area. It threatens food security across Germany and makes the country more dependent on imports for something as basic as fertilizer. The factory's situation is a warning to the whole nation. Without quick and effective action, important industries could vanish, taking good jobs and local prosperity with them. The challenge is clear. How can Germany protect jobs and essential industries like SKW Piesteritz without spending government money in ways that can't be sustained? It's a tough balancing act for policymakers, business leaders, and workers alike. SKW Piesteritz is more than just a factory. It's a symbol of the bigger fight for Germany's industrial future, and the choices made here will shape the country for years to come. Berlin is quickly trying to respond, promising help with energy costs and thinking about getting rid of the controversial gas tax. The government is also putting money into green technologies, like capturing carbon, to help industries become modern and stay competitive. The goal? Turn this tough situation into a chance to lead the world in making things in a sustainable way. But there are still disagreements among politicians about how much to get involved and which industries to support. Past times when they refused to help, too important to fail, companies show the hard choices ahead. Populist parties are using fears of decline to gain support, adding pressure to act quickly and firmly. The government must balance giving immediate help with making long-term changes, without spending too much money. The stakes are not just about money, but also about politics and society. Germany's industrial problems are part of a global race. Every major economy is fighting for its manufacturing future, and the stakes have never been higher. As the world shifts toward new technologies and supply chains, countries like the United States and China are investing billions to secure their place at the top. Germany, long seen as the backbone of European industry, now finds itself at a crossroads, facing challenges that are both familiar and entirely new. Even with its current troubles, Germany remains a powerhouse in global manufacturing. Its skilled workforce, deep engineering expertise, and reputation for precision and quality have kept it at the forefront for decades. German products are still trusted around the world, from cars to machinery, and its factories are models of efficiency. But this strength is also a vulnerability. With 1 out of every 5 workers employed in industry, Germany is more exposed to global slowdowns than countries that rely more on services or technology. When the world economy stumbles, German factories feel it first and hardest, putting jobs and communities at risk. Some experts argue that Germany is now confronting the loss of traditional industries that other Western nations experienced years ago. For a long time, booming demand from China delayed this reckoning, allowing German industry to thrive while others declined. But that era is ending. With China now buying less from Germany, exports are falling, and old business models are under pressure. German companies must adapt quickly, rethinking their strategies and searching for new markets to survive. The challenge is bigger than ever. Germany must compete not just with its old rivals in the West, but also with fast-growing industrial powers across Asia. These new competitors are agile, innovative, and determined to take the lead. Fixing high energy costs and weak demand is just the beginning. Germany also faces rising costs, stricter regulations, and the urgent need to transition to greener technologies, all while keeping its factories running and its workers employed. The real test is whether Germany can reinvent itself, innovating, investing in new industries, and leading the next era of global manufacturing. The world is watching to see if Germany can rise to the challenge and shape the future once again. Germany's main rivals are clear China and the United States. China has changed from Germany's biggest customer to a tough competitor, matching German quality and challenging them worldwide. The US, meanwhile, is attracting money for new projects with lower energy costs and huge benefits for green manufacturing. German companies are growing in the US, sometimes meaning fewer jobs back home. Germany is great at research, but struggles to turn new ideas into successful global businesses, unlike the US, with its many ways to fund new companies. Many German startups and creative people go to America for money and growth. Some experts are calling for a single European market for money to help Germany and Europe compete globally. Without big, bold moves, Germany risks falling behind both the US and China. The race for the industries of the future is on. The future for German workers is uncertain. Continued decline could mean fewer good-paying jobs and weaker communities. Political risks are real. Losing jobs creates unhappiness and can give power to populist groups, as seen in other countries. But tough times can also lead to new beginnings. Germany could lead in green technologies, like batteries, hydrogen, and smart power grids, creating new, high-skilled jobs. This change will require people to learn new skills, especially in digital and green areas. Germany's strong system for job training is a key advantage for this shift. Investing in people is essential to secure the next generation of industrial jobs. The challenge: manage the change from old industries to new, sustainable ones. Success means wealth and leadership. Failure means decline. The outcome depends on choices made now. Germany's industrial fate affects all of Europe and the world. As the biggest economy in the EU, Germany's strength or weakness spreads across the continent. German products are very important to global supply chains. A decline would disrupt industries everywhere. The world looks to Germany as an example of how to combine strong industry with a good quality of life. How Germany handles this crisis will set an example for other advanced economies. If it succeeds, it offers a plan for industrial renewal. If it fails, it's a warning for others. The question: can a country with high wages and high standards stay competitive? Matters to everyone. Germany's struggle is a global story, with important consequences for workers, companies, and economies everywhere.